Pakistan and China or Sino-Pakistani relations were established in 1950. Both these nations are also known as Iron Brothers, holding 596 kilometers of border together. This border was established in 1963, but India ruled it out, who also claimed sovereignty over part of the island in Kashmir. This rising tension with India in Ladakh region brings Pakistan and China close. China and USA are rivals in combat of world dominance and economic supremacy. USA saw these relations as threat to losing its strategic ally to China. The decline of US influence in South Asia started at the end of US operations in Afghanistan. And long-standing tensions between the two countries have surfaced, with each side blaming the other.
1.5 million armed men in the tribal areas are being pushed towards Al-Qaeda or whoever was responsible.
The cooperation between United States and Pakistan resurfaced after 1965 and 1970, as Pakistan became a forefront state in Washington's campaign against the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. But after that, USA imposed sanctions on Pakistan under the Pressler Amendment. This firmly planted the seeds of distrust between the two countries and prompted Pakistan to nurture its relationship with China. As part of Washington's global war on terror, Pakistan rejoined the US campaign in Afghanistan after 9/11. This time it was against Taliban, who had seized power after a long civil war that followed the withdrawal of the Soviet Union. Pakistan, especially Imran Khan, claimed to have been forced to participate in the war on terror.
There's more extremism today in Pakistan than ever in
Pakistan
our history.
says it has lost 70,000 lives, suffered economic losses of more than 150 billion, and has been targeted by violent extremist groups. Former Deputy Secretary of State Richard Armitage accused Pakistani military and its powerful Inter-Military Intelligence Service ISI to have kept Osama bin Laden in a hideout in Abbottabad and helped Taliban regain control over Afghanistan. Since the past few years, USA is experiencing pressure due to the rise of China and its extensive cooperation with other nations. Therefore, the US has been putting in all the efforts to obstruct the relationship between China and its neighboring countries in every possible manner. For instance, USA has insulted China-sponsored Belt and Road Initiative as creating death traps in the neighboring countries. The Belt and Road Initiative also continues to play up the China threat in the hopes that certain countries in the region will shift toward China. Economic engagement between India and the United States has increased significantly. India is one of the countries participating in Biden's just announced US-led Indo-Pacific Economic Framework aimed at countering China's economic influence. USA has a history of staging revolutions and empowering oppositions in or around countries which they don't like or they cannot control. With such negative reputation of the USA, some believe that US may be doing the same thing in the regions around China. Sri Lanka, another country that is close to China, is also experiencing huge problems. Pakistan's ex-Prime Minister first managed to block no confidence motion against him, which was pushed by the government opposition. Before vote of no confidence, Khan addressed a meeting and mentioned a top US diplomat as one of the people suspected of being part of this foreign plot to topple the government of Imran Khan through an election of no confidence. Our people will not accept under any circumstances an imported government imposed upon us by an American conspiracy, he said in his many interviews and public gatherings. He also openly called America the master of opposition and that Pakistani nation is not your slave. We will not bow.
A foreign imposed government where members
Khan's
of our
strategy
party
was challenged on many fronts, and reversed by judiciary in Pakistan, but many experts identify several factors that led to today's political climate in Pakistan. Of course, as Khan said, there are external forces, especially ones from the US, have been interfering with the internal issues in Pakistan. The West, and in particular the US, isn't keen to be able to see Khan continue to rule since ex-Prime Minister became more inclined towards China, and after Ukraine war, Khan visited Russia and did not condemn Russia's intervention in Ukraine. Washington did not succeed in its efforts to persuade Khan, and it is very much possible that it got involved in Pakistan's politics just by empowering and supporting opposition against Khan in order to topple the government in power. It is clear that the US would like to stop China, but it can't afford to hold revolutions across China's neighboring nations. But this does not necessarily mean that the US will not interfere with the political affairs of some of China's neighbors in order to undermine China's neighborhood diplomacy and development. It could disrupt the stability and peace of region and countries in the region. It will be difficult for these countries to cope with attempts to interfere and intrusion from external forces. The current government, led by Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, appears committed to a policy of reconciliation with the United States. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto said that United States and Pakistan need to enter into a broader, deeper, and more meaningful connection.
There's developed a distance, we've faltered. And I think it's a great testament to our diplomatic relations that we've not only stood the tests of time, but we are now re-engaged in a broader framework, and I look forward.
Bilawal's first visit was to China after his appointment as minister, which is a clear indication of the evolving geopolitical priorities for Pakistan. He stated he is inspired by China's great achievements and firmly believes that no force can stop China from forging ahead. All political parties agree that China owns the future, and with it, Pakistan's own future. Regardless of when and who wins the next election, America is unquestionably losing in Pakistan. So, USA will definitely try and regain its lost status by any means possible.